Okay. Good evening. This is the Rutland Town Planning Commission, and this is July 31st of 2025. Let's begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, again, welcome everyone. You all set, Norm?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Approval of the agenda is the first item.
Where is the-
Take it away, Dana.
Move to approve the agenda for this evening's meeting.
Is there a second?
Second,
I would like to now make a correction to the agenda. And that correction would be that instead of under the approval of minutes, there we go. Instead of May 8th, those should be the minutes from May 29th, along with June 19th and July 10th.
You okay with that, Norm?
mm-hmm.
Any discussion? Any other changes to the agenda? Okay.
So I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
And it's seconded.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the agenda is set as amended. Is there any
do we have
public
any
here
audio?
this- Howard, is that you?
Howard just asked if we had audio. And so I think he's,
Mary Beth heard you guys.
can you not hear us, Howard? I guess not.
Mm-hmm. What do we got?
We can hear you, Howard. Is there any public here to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, we'll move down to the first item tonight, which is the Pocket Park and phase 1 activities for the park. And we've got the chair of the select board here and the recreation director, Mike Rowe. What we've discussed as a group here for phase 1 includes the following activities. Clearing brush, thinning trees and removing dead ones, removing invasive plants and replacing with native species,
No.
expanding the parking lot. Howard, we can hear you. If you can just mute yourself.
I have
Expand.
to send him a text.
Yeah, that's all I can hear him.
Expanding the parking lot in Simons Avenue, adding safety alert signs for flooding and combined sewer overflows, and removing or covering obsolete pipe ends and wiring.
Am
I
I the
think
only
there's some
one that is not being heard? Period? Question mark. Also,
We
I
can
can't
hear.
hear anybody. Hmm.
Should we, Bill, can you ask him to just reboot? See if that helps. And so what we've also done is, through the circle, we've asked for volunteers and we've been getting a few. Yeah. So our guests of honor for this.
Wait a second.
Mike, you want to come up so the
Of
folks
course.
online can see us?
Okay, I'm good
I know,
now.
very
Just out of
strange.
curiosity, are you
Very
okay?
strange.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Okay. Okay, hi, folks. So first of all, thank you for moving us along on this. As you know, we now own the property because Green Mountain Power deeded the Pocket Park area to us. They reserve some easements, but nothing that should interfere with some of the plans that we want to do. From my point of view, I'd like to start getting the area cleared, cleaned up, getting the invasives out, as you mentioned. I'd also like to start a little bit, and once we get in there, we can tell more what's going to be needed, like the pathway down to the kayak put-in area, and then eventually something over so fishers can get down to the pool beneath the falls. But I'd really also like to see if we can start working on the handicapped accessible area, which will follow the old path to where the bridge used to be, and then having fencing, so of course nobody goes over it. So if that is something too, we can ask the highway crew to work with you folks. And I love the idea of volunteers. I think we've got some master gardeners that I can ask to go in and do some identification of invasives, and probably I'll see some of them tomorrow because we've got a project going tomorrow. So we should be able to start helping out there, and it'd be nice to schedule a work session in August or in September. And let us know, we can put the word out and we can get some folks in to start clearing it. But thank you for picking up on this and moving forward, and I'm very grateful.
Mike, I'm curious, what do you see as your role with this rollout?
This is going to be Mike's eventually. He's now our rec director because he's retired from Rutland Town School. So he's now going to be running our parks in the town. So we wanted him involved. But there, I've spoken
Yeah,
for you.
no,
Go right ahead.
No, that's
Yeah.
A-okay. So whatever the park recreation has would also fall under my purview. So whatever I can provide to that, to the project is why I'm here. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah, it would be great if you could organize this work, we're volunteers.
As in get a set a work session. I'll work
Okay.
with you on getting some volunteers and with Barbara's list. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the first step would, like you had said, is to have people come in and say what we can cut and what we shouldn't cut.
Yes.
That would be the first step before we even have a work day. Because if we just go in there and cut.
Yep.
And I don't know, a weed from a plant.
I'm okay with
I-
that.
I'm not, or a good tree or a bad tree.
Our tree ward would be a good resource for that.
Our tree warden, our tree warden could
Yeah.
definitely help out. Who's on the highway department, so.
Yeah, good.
Yes, so I can help plan the starting day for doing that. And then I guess more guidance, because like I said, I'm new to this part. I mean, I like the fact of the park and putting in someplace where you can load a canoe or a kayak and then go down the river. I was thinking, because I was driving by it the other day, and I thought, yeah, that'd be great. I can put my kayak in, but where can I put my kayak out?
Mhm.
And so there should be some communication, I think, between whatever board it is and Proctor to maybe communicate about, okay, we're trying to do this and you can put in here, but it's going to require your town to maybe figure out a place where people can pull out or put in and go up, whatever. I mean, I don't think the river is like 100-mile-an-hour current if you want to go both ways, but that would be a conversation for some board to have with Proctor to talk about that, because I know if you go too far, you're going to end up in Amua's water pipe, and that wouldn't really be good. So I think that's also a conversation that needs to be had if it hasn't already happened already. If we're encouraging people to use that river, which I think is a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a part where you come out, and that's Proctor.
Well, we haven't done anything on that because I think most of our group thinks it may be too dangerous or too much liability for the town. to use the park as a lounge.
Well,
And
can I speak to that? Yeah.
well, yeah,
Okay. And I understand the concern. First of all, it's being used for that very purpose now. Secondly, other towns have waterfront parks. They have waterfront facilities. They have boat launches. We have swimming pool in Rutland town. We, as a town, as a municipality under state law, we have immunity from prosecution unless we have coverage under our insurance policy. And the League of Cities and Towns does provide coverage for things like the pool and other facilities that we have. So I don't think this should grind to a halt because there's some concern about liability. We can get a little more information. We can check with the league and see what policy rider we can put on this, but I don't think that should be a showstopper. It's municipalities all over the state have these amenities, and we shouldn't be afraid to pursue the idea of something that's already been being used as a kayak put in place anyway. So my 2 cents. What else can we do to make you feel more comfortable about this? Let me put it that way.
I mean, my question in hearing that is I fully agree with Mary. So the concept of the pocket park is to pull in, get out of your car, go to the edge, look at the fall, look at the river, and then turn around. Or if you want to go fishing, then we're going to put a fishing spot. We can go.
well,
I mean,
there's like
that's
20 some odd features that we were planning for
okay.
Yeah.
all of the phases, and the picnic tables up there would be
Right,
one,
right.
and then a trail, hopefully, yeah, and then use of the overlook.
Okay. I mean, I just wanted to understand the concept of, yes, if it's just like you go and you just hang and look at which is awesome. It's a place to park and to socialize and to relax. But at the same time, it can be used for recreation as far as boating, which I would, like to see.
Mary, I was puzzled by one of your comments when you alluded to prosecution.
Mhm.
It's the first time it's come up. I'm not sure what you were alluding to. I don't understand.
It's the old common law immunity from liability. Unless there is a policy in place, insurance policy, and we have that through the League of Cities and Towns.
But
Sovereign immunity.
I don't see any potential for criminal. You were talking about
Not criminal.
civil. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a blanket policy covering a lot of stuff here in town. The police department, fire, the rec department. So we're our parks.
Well, we certainly can. You have plenty of good counsel. We certainly could ask for, a rider to an insurance policy to specifically mention that if or some letter to saying what you're doing in the pocket park is covered.
Yep.
One or the other. So.
I'll have our town administrator get right on that after he returns from vacation.
Andy,
Yeah, I just wanted to say I spoke out against having the kayak launch there. I've kayaked an awful lot myself. And the reason I spoke out is because I felt that the average kayaker really could not come back against that current if it was heavy. And they would be stranded downstream with potentially no way to get out. Now, I think if we could possibly set up something with the town of Proctor or have an exit place, a good safe place where a kayaker that was not experienced and got caught into a heavy current and could not make it back can positively be able to pull over and tie up and get themselves safely out, then that would take my objection away.
Okay.
Can
Good
I,
Howard?
add-
Just a sec, Mary Beth. Howard?
Yes, I'm not a kayaker, but I've heard from several people who are kayakers and who have really expressed this as being a very dangerous spot to put a kayak in because of the rapids that are going down there, that to get into your kayak with rough water like that could be very dangerous. And, you know, to encourage people, kids and whatnot to go down there and hop in, that there could be something tragic. And like I said, I'm not a kayaker, but I've heard it from several different people who said that's not
Oh,
for it.
we don't know that bridge. It's not ours.
Yeah, I think the distinction you're trying to make, Howard, is us encouraging the use of that as a boat launch.
Well, not necessarily encouraging it, but just making it as a boat launch, that kind of. Yeah, that sort of encourages people, say, hey, there's a boat launch there, let's go. But no, but if something tragic were to happen there, it would not be good. And I said, I've heard from several different people that said that is not a place to put a kayak in. So, but I don't know. I'm not a kayaker. But it could be looked into further, I'm sure, to talk to other people who, Andy, you're a kayaker. right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Again, my,
I was there a few years ago when the Boy Scout troop put in. I think Fern was there.
She might have been, yeah.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
yeah. And you know, I mean, there's a certain amount of common sense. If the river is running high and creating those rapids, then you shouldn't be kayaking on it. And if we have to put up a sign reminding people of that, we can do that. But to just say, no, we shouldn't because it's too dangerous. I mean, the day we were watching, I think Barbara was there too. The day we were watching the put in, it was a pretty calm day there.
They were pretty experienced kayakers.
Yes, yeah.
Mary Beth, we jumped over you.
Oh, sure. So back in 2022, I think it was, when we were doing outreach with a historical group, one of the people with the Crown Point group, Dale Christie, lives in Proctor, and he's very involved with trails, and he's on their planning commission. And I think he was also involved with trying to get put in Proctor. So if you want, I can reach out to him and see if he knows kind of the history there and what the town of Proctor might feel about that piece of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Dale is still on the planning commission, I think.
Yeah.
in Proctor. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll reach out to him.
Okay, well, I think we have a few things
There
to,
are some things we can work on before we even get to the whole kayak launch area. So
right.
let's move
right.
ahead on those things we agree on.
And we've been, the solicitation for volunteers, you know, in the circle and other places has been going to Bill. Should we shift that over to you, Mike?
That's up to you. I mean, I don't care. That's fine.
It seems to make sense.
Yeah, I mean, if he can send, you can send all stuff over to me. And then I can go from there, but I'm not gonna go any further until I hear back from what's being cut and where's being cut. So once I know what is being done or what can be done, then I will set up a day or days and get the highway and get that taken care of once it's clear what needs to be removed. So that we just don't go in there willy-nilly and just start, okay, we're just gonna take all this stuff. So as soon as we have a direction of what is to stay and what is to go, then I will set up a couple of work days and promote that however you see fit. And yes, I don't have a problem with that at all, but I do want to know, because you're talking about a clearing stuff. Well, I'm not a clearing. I can clear. You won't like it and I can clear it. So just, I need that, whoever's going to take on that lead as far as what's what. So, and then I'll go from there.
So have we determined
Marked or
who's
whatever.
taking that lead?
I'll talk to the master gardeners because they're good about invasive identification and see if they can do some work. And I guess I can also talk with our tree warden. And see if we can set up a time to go in and just maybe,
Yeah, I'll join you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a
okay.
problem at all.
okay,
No, you keep me in the full loop, it's fine.
okay,
I just need a direction rather than just say, oh, go do it.
yep, gotcha.
Because you probably won't like what ends up happening if you don't give me any kind of a direction. So that needs to come first.
And obviously Dave Sears is
Yes.
willing to help out.
And it looks like we have
For-
to repair the guardrail that's at the end of Simons
Oh,
Avenue
yeah,
because
right.
that's been damaged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. And
got my list. I came to ask you to do stuff and then end up with a whole list
that's how it
myself, but
works
that's
here.
fine.
Sorry. We didn't let you know.
Nope, that's fine.
Any other discussion?
No.
On the pocket park? Okay,
Okay,
let's all
I
stay
got my
in.
marching orders.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to stay for the subdivision,
Okay,
Go.
or the subdivision ordinance discussion.
Thank you.
Thanks.
yeah, thanks, Mike. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Wilk Dutil subdivisions, North Grove Street, McKinley Avenue. This is something that we took action in March, on March 7th of 2024 for this. So fill us in on why we're revisiting this.
I'm up here like we did. Eric, if you want to pass surveys around.
And if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Yeah.
Reintroducing.
Dutil. And I'm Shane Protovansky. I'm an attorney at Facey McPhee. So I'll let Eric
Make
pass.
copies of all the plats.
Yeah, so you guys
Want to be
can
able to
follow
have
along.
easy visual aids. Those be helpful,
The plats
or-
that we've already approved.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Does anyone need the visual aids?
I probably do.
Okay.
I'll take one too.
We've got 3 members up there online, so if we could verbally describe
Yeah,
things
I'll-
as well as
I'll do that.
I'll be able
possible.
to do that. It just, sometimes it's easier if you can see it right.
Thank you.
Yep. That's all, I'll hand it to you upside down. All right.
Yep. Do you have one?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so like you said, March 7th, 2024, you all issued a subdivision decision letter for Eric Dutil and Steve Wilk. And you see on that plat in front of you, there's a parcel between North Grove and McKinley. It has parcel A, which is 24.9 acres. Parcel B, which is 20.5. To the left there, it says other lands. That's 10.4 acres. There's a parcel above North Grove, 51.8 acres. And a parcel below McKinley there, which is 19 acres.
Where's that?
So you see, it's under parcel B and the other lands of Steve Wilk and Eric
Oh,
Dutil
then the
separated by
19-acre
McKinley.
parcel
Yep.
on the other side of McKinley. Okay.
So there's a couple changes on the subdivision letter that need to be made, a couple corrections. So first, it says the Mylar must show the size of all 4 parcels. There's only 3 parcels in that subdivision. There's that parcel A, parcel B, and then the other lands to the left there, they're 10.4 acres. Because that parcel above is naturally subdivided by North Grove, so it's not part of that
Which
subdivision.
is where we went wrong,
Yeah,
right?
it's already a separate lot. And then same with the lot below McKinley. So it's really just 3 parcels.
I,
So
I'm I don't follow you. Oh.
So between North Grove and McKinley, there's 3 parcels in there. Those are the only parcels that were subdivided, that one parcel, into 3 parcels.
Just hold on for a minute for me,
I'll help
please.
you, I'll help you, Norman. This is what I did for myself, so it might help you. Parcel A,
No, I got that. Where's North Grove?
parcel B, this is North Grove. I had to find that too. This is North Grove Street,
Okay,
right here.
okay, all right, like,
Okay.
that's all I need to
And
know.
then this is the other one,
No,
10 acres.
Andy, I found those. Those
Okay.
not a problem.
Want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just having problem locating North.
No,
Grove.
no, you're good. So the subdivision decision letter says the Mylar must show the size of all 4 parcels. A 24.9 acres, so that's correct. B 20.5 acres, that's correct. And then C on the letter and D need to be corrected. So C should say that 10.4 acres to the left. And then there should be no D at all.
So we're just talking about the things you want changed are in the letter, not the Mylar, not the
No.
survey that was done.
Yeah, the Mylar is fine.
Okay.
So that's the first change. The second is it says a Mylar must be filed by June 5th, 2024. So Eric, he brought a Mylar here to be recorded before June 5th. It didn't end up getting recorded till June 21st. But that June 5th date was only 90 days past the March 7th. And that's according to the Rutland Town subdivision regulations for minor subdivisions. That's section 185-17 and 24 VSA section 4463. That gives you 180 days to record the Mylar. So that should really be September 3rd, 2024.
It's another instance where our ordinance is out of date and doesn't meet statute. So what used to be 90 days should be now 180.
Yeah, so it was filed by June 21st, which was well before the September 3rd date it should have been.
Yeah, and I think we can address that by just a motion saying the Mylar was submitted in a timely manner.
Yeah. So,
One motion.
yeah, if we could do a motion to acknowledge the existence of those pre-existing parcels that aren't included in the subdivision. That the subdivision includes those 3 parcels that are parcel A of 24.9 acres, parcel B of 20.5 acres, and parcel C of 10.4 acres.
Excuse me just a second.
Yep.
On my copy of the Mylar of the plat, there's no identification as partial C.
Yeah, there's no parcel C.
Yep.
So on the subdivision decision letter, it was just identified parcel C as 19 acres, which is the parcel below McKinley Avenue. So that also is not marked as C, but because now there's no C or D, we're gonna have to just reference that 10.4 acres as parcel C for the letter purposes.
And that is also on the north side of McKinley? All of those?
It's
The
east.
east
technically.
side,
side,
yeah. Technically, yeah, east
But-
side,
but across the street from the other parcels, across the road from,
Yes,
yep.
not the other new parcels, but the,
Not
Yeah, the
parcel
two
A and
separate,
parcel
yes,
B,
yes,
but yes.
correct.
existing ones, right?
Yeah. And yep, and that's it. So just to acknowledge the existence of the pre-existing parcels, to identify those 3 parcels with the proper acreage, and then to allow recording of the Mylar within 180 days.
So does the Mylar, should the Mylar include a reference to parcel C?
I think that would make sense. Be clear.
I'm just asking because two of the parcels that were referenced are clearly indicated on the Mylar. There are other parcels, most of which are indicated as other lands. In fact, parcel C that has been referenced on the west side, on the east side of Grove Street, is not referenced as a parcel. It just indicates 10.4 acres. And apparently there was some error or misunderstanding previously with the 19 acres on the east side of McKinley, which led to the confusion, so that there could be no confusion at all. It would seem to make sense that if we're going to reference a parcel C that is otherwise not indicated, that should be shown on the Mylar so that we can actually reference visually what the three.
How is it not shown?
It is not referenced as parcel C. This is referenced as parcel B. This is referenced as parcel A. All of these other parcels are indicated as other lands. Jointly owned, I guess, by Wilk and Dutil. And in my mind, I was having a little bit of difficulty in the beginning, even though we had seen this before, it was familiar to me. I was struggling to find parcel C because it wasn't indicated. So I'm sharing Norman's concern. I'm just wondering if the Mylar, if we are going to reference the subdivision by specific parcels, most of the time when we're looking at maps and plan sketches, it has those clearly identified. So my question simply is, we have an A, we have a B, we have a C. The letter can be rewritten to indicate those three parcels. And then we can make a motion that the original was submitted within the appropriate time frame, with just this being corrected so that there's no ambiguity moving forward, because otherwise I don't know how we reference what parcel C is except by the amount of acreage that is
We could do
Right.
it that way.
just a question.
I believe a lot are.
I share your
as a-
view. I mean, it seems to me that it's not a big deal to change the letter as you've requested. We're happy to do that. But I think it's not a big deal to change the Mylar and make it say parcel C, so it's consistent with the letter.
Right.
And
Well,
I'll agree with
he's
that.
already had it recorded, and
Right,
so that's just more cost to him.
right. It's more cost. Yeah, Andy.
I'd have to agree with the fact that Mylar should be changed. We have plenty of time to do it. And 10 years from now, when someone's looking at that Mylar, there shouldn't be any ambiguity there whatsoever. If there was a time constraint, I would say no, but there's no time constraint now, so easily we could change the letter and the Mylar to make it consistent.
I don't think it's an exceptionally high cost, is it, to get the.
It's probably not a high cost. I'm actually more worried about not being able to get title work completed on the property when we're already way behind on it because of getting, hitting like a snag that just kind of holds you up. So
We can have the letter out promptly.
yeah,
And I suspect the engineer can make the change in a nanosecond. Having done a few title searches in my older days, I know that if I came across it in this situation, went to the map, I would be confused.
Mhm.
At least initially. The title insurance companies might want a little clarification as well. So.
well, I think if you guys could get a corrected subdivision letter just with instructions that the subdivision is approved, and I have give me, I don't know, a month or two or something it'd probably be in hopefully within a week would be my hope to have it. But it would be nice to be able to move forward with title work to split those properties up, because I don't know if any of you have been out in that area lately, but you know, Steve and I are both, you know, substantially into builds and we need to be able to separate those lots
I'm sorry, what, substantially what?
into construction of homes there.
Mm. Bill, you're going on vacation.
And this original letter identified the lots C and D based on acreage, and D combined two lots to come up with that acreage. So I don't see why we can't just say C 10.9 acres or 10.4 acres and identify it that way.
Hi, could I interject
I'll
to ask
chime
a
in.
question?
Sure.
Hi, this is Tony Dutil. I'll apologize for not having my video on. It's about 10 after 1 a.m. where I am right now. So my preference would be if the commission would simply issue a corrected permit decision letter rather than record what I guess at this point I'm unclear what the procedure is that the commission will follow. It seems cleaner to me if the commission were to simply issue a corrected approval letter or decision letter rather than record, because then you're also making a motion that the Mylar was timely recorded, but then you're also asking that a new Mylar be recorded, which triggers I think gets into a different triggering of appeal period issue. So I think rather than clarify things, it has the potential to add more confusion as to what happened here and how it was corrected. So I think the simple corrected decision letter referencing the acreage or the parcels by their acreage would be the simplest, easiest way to correct this error.
And it would be 3 parcels.
3, yep,
Yep.
correct.
So I'm gonna respond a little bit to Tony's request. This is now coming back to me. I didn't realize the connections prior to our meeting, or I would have done my homework like I did on the minutes, because that's what I do. But I remember there being significant confusion around which parcels we were talking about when this was filed. I believe I made the motion. You can go back and check, Bill, but I think I made a contingent motion upon the parcels being clearly identified. If that in fact did not happen, and I'm beginning to wonder whether it did because of the way we crafted the letter, which I wasn't part of, but that's okay, that the confusion began with the lack of clarity on the map, which resulted in the letter being confusing and erroneous in identifying 4 parcels, because I remember having a significant discussion about which parcels we were talking about and how the parcels were divided. So I think that there is shared responsibility on our part, as well as on the part of the map preparer, and that we can take care of our portion. But I would be remiss if I did not insist again that we have the map and the Mylar to actually reflect what the decision letter represents.
Your motion identified the exact size of each parcel, and it was contingent upon the final plat showing the 4 correct sizes.
I should have said clearly identified by parcel letter, but I didn't, I guess.
Wait, we said parcel A will be, parcel B will.
Oh, okay. So I did say that. Right.
Each parcel was specifically identified.
And I did make the motion?
Yes.
That's pretty good, because I usually don't remember back a year
I
plus.
remember that we had a lot of trouble figuring out what was going on.
There was a lot of
And I
discussion.
think with all due respect, I share Dana's view on this. Nobody's pointing fingers.
Nope.
This is not a contested area. I rather doubt there'll be much there was no opposition from the neighbors. There's no, so I don't think an extended appeal period is of concern. I just think we need to do it correctly for the future and make sure the records, there's no area of, left up for debate in the future or confusion, and this takes care of it. So,
We don't have an appeal period in our subdivision
I'm sorry?
ordinance. We don't have an appeal period
Yeah.
in our ordinance, or, which is something that was revealed
Okay.
going through it in the last year. So,
Um,
yes, Howard.
Yes, there's obviously been a fair amount of confusion here with all of this. This is a complicated parcel of land. And to me, I agree with Andy. This is an opportunity to fix this thing so that there's no more confusion down the road. And that would mean submitting a corrected survey plat to reflect all of what we were talking about. And that would be my suggestion.
Well, the only change would be, I just have to put lot C here.
Parcel C.
Yeah,
right,
parcel
To be
C, yeah.
consistent with
Okay.
the other ones. And then, based on my motion from 15, whatever it was, 18 months ago, the acreage is clearly delineated. We would then remove any reference to parcel D because it's irrelevant. And we would only reference the 3 parcels, which addresses the question you, that you raised. So, I think for me, that's the simplest and the cleanest way. And agreeing with both Howard and Andy, that allows anybody who sees this in the future referencing the plat and or the correspondence approving the decision of the planning commission. It's transparent, it's clear, and there's no ambiguity or confusion.
No, I would just add and ask that, I know last time Eric, he dropped the Mylar off to be recorded. He dropped it off before June 5th and it had to come to a meeting and get approved. So it wasn't recorded
Yes.
until June 21st.
Mhm.
It was on June 5th that
So it was on
it
June
actually
5th.
wasn't me that dropped it off. It was Ray. I just wanted to be clear on
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Ray Page dropped it off on the 5th, but that basically because we read this as it had to be here by the 5th.
Right.
We didn't know
That's
that.
what we told you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so,
it is it's 180 days.
It is 180 days, and we're working on our end to make sure that the bylaws as they're currently written, which is what we're operating under,
Yeah.
get corrected to actually reflect state statute.
Yeah.
So,
So I would just
Um,
ask that there's not the delay this time. If, you
There won't
know,
be.
he makes a correction, puts this lot C, it could just be recorded right away. So he doesn't have to
Yeah.
delay things
Yeah.
any further.
That's reasonable.
Up to you to sign. I mean, so if the delay was between the date arrived and the date of the meeting when you were here to actually sign it. That was that window. So
So let me do that again then.
so if the
yeah.
concern is that by some inadvertent, unintentional, unavoidable delay, a signature isn't procured, we will waive that for allowing that the Mylar to be recorded and for the subdivision to be formalized. And if we need to do that at our next meeting, we can certainly do that.
Just so I'm clear, you guys would be able to just submit a new subdivision letter basically now with the stipulation that I correct this. Then once I bring this into the office and drop it at the clerks to record, we're all set.
it's gotta go to me to go to Barbara to be signed.
For
before it
signature.
can Get recorded. It can't get recorded before it's signed.
So let me see if I can paraphrase for my own understanding.
For all of
This-
us.
For all of our understanding, well, I mean, I'm just trying to understand it myself, so. That Eric would come back with a corrected Mylar, which he would turn into you or to somebody in the clerk's office. That would go to Barbara for review of whatever the motion is tonight, which I'm happy to make again. She would verify that. That would then generate a letter of the formal approval, and then it will be recorded. Do I have that sequence right?
If you would like,
Or is that what we follow
the-
for a procedure?
Is that the normal sequence?
but usually after a normal subdivision meeting, you say it's approved based upon the discussion. And then we get the Mylar later, so. We're in a little bit of uncharted territory, so we've never had a scenario like this.
So the letter comes right after we make the approval.
You usually say that, yeah, so that's when they say it, and it has to be filed by that date. So I don't think there's gonna be any issue with the timeline to record it. That doesn't seem like that's gonna be a challenge at all, so. It's just getting it corrected, so I mean, the one that's there met the requirement for filing, so this is just a correction, so. There's nothing in our rules or anything that Kevin and I talked about that said there's a timeline for a correction. So I don't think there's any issue with timeliness at this point.
So in other words, Bill, the timeline requirement has already been met.
Yes.
The correction then can be submitted, and we will issue a corrected letter based on the corrected Mylar submission.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
And I mean, if you so chose, you could. If you wanted to maybe give Barbara, say, we'll allow her to sign it when it gets here, regardless of the timeline to the next meeting.
Yeah.
That would make that process a little shorter.
So you would want a motion.
That's up to you guys.
Yes. Keep going.
Just give me my tasks of motions. So I just gotta write these down if I'm gonna be the motion person. So one is to approve the subdivision. Amendment correction. What is it gonna be called? Is it a correction? Filing? Correction?
Verification.
I think amendment probably be.
I don't
closer,
think
but I'm not
amended
sure
is
if it's-
Yeah.
Nothing corrected.
Okay,
Nothing is changed.
okay. So approve the corrected subdivision submission.
No subdivision letter.
No, let me do my own motion. If you want to do the motion, you do it, but it's a corrected subdivision Mylar. Okay, subdivision Mylar.
For 3
Wouldn't
parcels.
it be and letter also?
Hang on, let me go.
That's the
I'm
next
working
step,
on this
Andy.
one, Andy. I just got to break it down in my head. Okay, Mylar for the okay, for the corrected Wilk, Dutil. Subdivision Mylar for 3 parcels identified as A, B, and C with acreage of 24.9, 20.5, and 10.4. Okay. Sequentially. Okay. Contingent upon new Mylar submission, right?
Corrected Mylars.
I already got corrected in the previous sentence, new Mylar submission.
Hi, baby.
Okay. That's motion one. Motion two will be to approve a corrected letter of decision issued by the chair of the PC to reflect approval of the said parcels. The said subdivision of parcels. Three, to authorize the chair of the PC to, Bill, what did you tell me? To review and sign the Mylar, is that right?
Yeah.
Outside of
Yeah.
whenever it's submitted, it doesn't have to wait for a PC meeting. Upon submission, authorize the chair of the PC to sign Mylar
The amended Mylar,
Corrected.
corrected
corrected Mylar.
and issue decision letter without holding another PC meeting,
Other what?
another planning commission meeting.
Planning commission meeting.
I'm putting PC, but you can put planning commission. That's okay.
You're gonna say this whole thing, so later I can make sense of it, right?
I've written half a page, Bill. I'm gonna try to read it verbatim.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm sitting here with two lawyers in the room and I'm doing this. I'm outside of my field.
We're enjoying your discomfort at every turn.
Yeah, thanks.
Now you have an idea what we go through.
Three
Thanks.
lawyers.
Three? Oh, sorry. 4 or 5, yeah. I'm way out of my league.
Andy, go ahead.
Just quick question, on at the end of the letter, should we put something in that says the applicants can proceed along as if, in other words, reference something that they've been approved, so that we're not holding their project up? Is that possible to put?
Then
They referenced, one of the gentlemen referenced something about them, not that they're well into construction and that yet they don't want to be, proceeding along illegally, apparently. Was that the point? If I can ask you that?
Well, I think I can speak to that, and I think the issue, so to answer your question, no, I don't think, although that would be very helpful, and appreciated, I don't think with the requirement of a new Mylar filing, we're going to have to wait until that gets filed so that it can then be referenced in the deeds to then separate these parcels, and title them appropriately. So unfortunately, because of the requirement of a new Mylar or a corrected Mylar being filed, we can't really proceed until that new Mylar is recorded.
This is a corrected permit.
Okay.
This isn't a substantive change. This could, this could happen down the line after the property is subdivided and sold twice. Somebody finally picks it up and asks for the change. It's not gonna hurt anything. So this isn't revoking a permit. It's just clarifying language.
So what are you saying, Norm?
Saying I can't give legal advice. I no longer have a license. I don't see the hang up that she's discussing. That she's mentioning.
She's just
Not-
saying,
not-
I think what Tony is mentioning is that we have a series of steps and it doesn't matter what we say in the letter because they have to go through the steps. I think that's all she was pointing out. That doesn't make any sense to include something in the letter that
Would jumpstart or.
So the deed
That
would
in
have to
any way-
reference the Mylar.
Yeah, right.
And
So it has to be in there.
since tonight the decision is that a corrected Mylar needs to be filed, that corrected Mylar needs to be recorded in order to be able to be referenced in a subsequent deed that separates these parcels or
Right. In order
titles
to
out
get the
these
deed-
parcels.
I think you're absolutely right, Tony. In order to get the deed corrected and referenced properly, the Mylar just needs to be filed. So.
So unfortunately,
Thank you.
yeah, so while it would be really helpful and appreciated to have some sort of language that says we
Sure.
can move forward, unfortunately, because of the legal process we have to follow and the requirement that a corrected Mylar be filed, now we have to wait for that corrected Mylar to be filed.
Thank you.
Yep,
So
thank you.
I think your motion is intact there. And
There's-
Well, I have three motions.
One more thing to add, just that the initial filing of the Mylar was timely. Just,
yeah, I'm not, yes, that'd be fine.
But does that have to be in my motion?
It should be a motion. Whether it's included in yours or we do it separately.
Okay, usually a motion is for action. But the fact that something was done in a timely manner does not require a motion to validate it.
In this case, Kevin had said it would be appropriate just for clarification.
Just for
just to
clarification.
Have it on the record.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I can make a motion into a clarification and we want that. In the corrected letter of decision?
He
Correct.
just said it needed to be just
Okay.
put on the record.
It can be in the minutes.
Doesn't need to be.
Oh, just in the minutes?
It can be in the
that was enough.
minutes.
Okay, so let the minutes of July 31st reflect that the planning commission unanimously agrees, unless I'm wrong, that the original submission of the Mylar was within the approved timeframe. Okay, you can just put that in the minutes.
thank you.
Sufficient?
Yeah.
My pleasure. Okay, so now I have to get to the motions, right? Okay. I'm gonna do them one at a time. If you have a question, please ask at the time that I make the motion, because I'm gonna ask for approval of each motion individually. So I make a motion to approve the corrected Wilk Dutil subdivision Mylar for 3 parcels identified as A, B, and C with acreage of 24.9, 20.5, and 10.4 respectively.
Dana, I hate to be overly picky.
Contingent upon,
Oh, I'm sorry. You hadn't finished.
New-
Excuse me.
contingent upon a new Mylar submission.
Okay, that's a motion. Is there a
I
second?
think it ought to say.
Can we have a second
Can
so
we-
that we can actually
yeah.
have a discussion, please?
Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Andy.
Discussion.
Yeah, I agree with the motion. I think it just would be clearer, Dana, if it said to reflect. So the Mylar would reflect.
So my motion says to approve the corrected Wilk Dutil subdivision Mylar. Where do you want reflect put in there, Norman? Because
Continue.
that
Continue to
Okay.
read it.
for 3 parcels identified as A, B,
To
and
reflect 3 parcels or to show 3 parcels.
okay, got it.
Okay, thank you.
I will correct my motion.
Thank you.
Andy, you okay with the correction?
Yes, I am.
To reflect 3 parcels identified as A, B, and C. You are, Andy?
Yes, I am.
Right.
Any further discussion on this motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed?
Okay.
Opposed, so that's unanimous. Okay, motion number 2.
Motion number 2 is to approve a corrected letter of decision issued by the chair of the planning commission to reflect approval of said subdivision of parcels. Period. Do I have a second?
Second,
Read that.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Andy. Could you read it one more time?
I make a motion to approve a corrected letter of decision issued by the chair of the planning commission to reflect the approval of the said subdivision of parcels.
I think that's okay.
Said subdivision.
Oh, my. Of the previous motion.
Of the previous motion, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I will change the said subdivision to the previous motion.
Andy, you okay with that?
yes,
Any other discussion?
Of subdivision of parcels.
All those in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Number 3,
I make a motion to authorize the chair of the planning commission to sign the corrected Mylar and issue the decision letter without holding another planning commission,
not necessarily, yeah,
Without-
okay.
necessarily holding another planning commission meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this one?
This would be tables.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That's unanimous as well. Okay. Have we addressed everything?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, thank
Good.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you
We
all very much.
appreciate particularly that last motion to expedite the signing and recording of the
Yeah,
corrected
very
Mylar.
much. Thank you very much on that.
Our pleasure.
You want this back?
Thank you.
Eric, do you want any of these back?
I don't need them back.
We
You
don't
guys
need them.
wanna file them away with the
Yep.
recorded stuff on the meeting or whatever you'd like to do with them.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm all set. I got a bunch of copies. Too.
Have a great rest of your
Yeah,
evening.
you too.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Take care.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Have a good night.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Take it home and frame
Yes,
it.
thank you, Tony.
I think I'll take it home and frame it.
Okay, Yeah.
I have to head out now, sorry. 7:30.
okay, thanks for, yep. Thanks for joining in.
Oh, sure.
We had you for the, no, Mary Beth,
Oh.
Mary Beth, don't sign off right now. We're gonna go out of order. I'm gonna ask that we go out of order on the
Minute.
agenda because we have an action for which we need you. So if we can just jump there, then, we should be good to go, because I don't really feel like going another meeting without a, quorum to be able to approve the minutes of, May 29th. And I'm not the
It's
chair,
just-
but
it's
this is
just-
driving
yeah,
me
it's
crazy.
just- Yeah, open to all kinds of error. On that. So May 29th of 2025, the minutes for that meeting,
The minutes for the meeting of, May 29th
which we
were
don't have.
erroneously, noted as, the meeting of May 8th. They were submitted at the same time. Bill made the correction at the meeting on June 19th, I believe. And we did not have a quorum for those present on May 29th. So those who were present on May 29th included Barbara, Howard, Sherman, Jerry, Mary Beth, and Norm. We need 4 people present to be able to approve the minutes from May 29th. The people who are present that would make that quorum this evening are Barbara, Howard, Mary Beth, and Norm.
Right.
So now, go ahead, take it away, Barbara, for the minutes of May 29th.
Well, I think we have looked at these several times. And I would entertain a motion to approve this set of minutes, May 29th, 2025.
I have something that says May 8th. And that is now supposed to be May 29th.
that was corrected a while ago.
It
Okay.
was corrected at the June 19th
Okay,
meeting.
and
have
I
the
do
note.
not see Mary Beth on here.
Oh, that's because
I'm
Mary Beth
here.
was not at the May 8th
Oh.
meeting. She was at the May 29th meeting, because I was not there at the May 29th meeting.
Oh,
And I have the minutes for May 29th here, Norman, and you can take a look at it.
Oh.
These
Yes.
are the minutes for May 29th. It said May 8th, but it said May 29th up the top. If it says up the top May 8th, then that's not the right set of minutes for the 29th.
and I didn't get the right.
So there you go. So the minutes for May 29th meeting should be a different set.
I don't have them. This is what we're sent. This is,
No, hang on a second. If you're looking at the minutes that was sent by Bill this week,
For this
that was
meeting.
an error, because Barbara had put on May 8th. So he sent the real minutes from May 8th. The May 29th meetings, you'll have to go back to the May 19th meeting, and you will have those minutes. If you have those with you,
I don't have them. with
then let me make a
Just
copy. Oh, you can read this.
Just let him read it, yeah.
Yep.
Again, we have had several opportunities to look these over.
The only problem was the compilation of people present at the subsequent meetings did not provide us with a quorum. So we needed 4 of the people to be present to be able to approve these minutes. I am, but I think we should take those up. No, I'm not, who? Jeez, I didn't even look at that because, the 8th
But we
was
do have
correct.
copies of those.
Yeah, I did not do that check, Barbara, to see who should be present.
It can be easily done here.
July
Um,
10th.
Okay, we're good for June 19th. And we're not
June
good.
19th, June 19th, June 19th, Barbara, Dana, Andy, and Norm. So we're good. Mary Beth
Good. We're
isn't
we're
needed for that
not
one.
good for July 10th.
And
so
July
we're-
10th are gonna have to be, right. They're gonna have to be postponed because we don't have a quorum of the people in the room.
Okay, is there a motion for the May 29th? Once again,
I move to
I'll make 'em-
accept the May 29th minutes.
so you can leave.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Get paid over.
Yeah.
Almost there, Mary Beth. Is there a second for May 29th?
Second,
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Do we need Mary Beth
No. We
for,
cannot approve the July tenth because we do not have a quorum of
Right.
members present at that meeting currently present.
but we,
And we do not need Mary Beth
for the 19th of
for the
June.
19th
June.
of June. And because we have the folks who are present currently, that's you, Barbara, me,
And make,
Andy and Norm. So we can approve the minutes of the 19th with the rest of us in the room.
not gonna do it now, are we?
Yes, we're
Oh.
gonna do it now.
Okay.
So the motion on the table is for the 29th. Did we hear a vote of that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you did?
That one
Okay.
passed. We're June 19th.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Are you
unanimous.
guys all good with me?
Yeah, we're good with you, Mary Beth.
Great. See you guys next time. Bye.
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 Run what you can. June 19th, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes is written.
Is there a second?
I'll second it just for the sake of discussion. I wasn't present, but I can make a
Oh,
motion to.
I'll second it if that makes any difference.
Okay, Norman, there you go.
Okay. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes of June 19th, say aye.
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 I abstain.
Thank you, Howard. Any nays?
Wait a second. Hang on a second. Where am I?
I think that was unanimous.
July. No, we're on June 19th. Oh, that's me. I was at that one. Sorry.
Okay,
So that
So-
approves unanimous.
yeah, one abstention.
He wasn't present, yeah. But
Okay. Can we put the air on for just a second? Is the remote around? Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move back up in the agenda to the subdivision bylaw.
and we're tabling the July 10th meeting until next meeting. Motion to
Right.
table,
Um,
because it's not a quorum.
I don't think we've been making motions.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit the last meeting. Many of you were not in attendance, and doing things probably much more fun. But we've been asked by the select board to come up with subdivision bylaw that would replace what we have now for a very outdated ordinance. Some of you heard last time, I reported out that Kevin Brown did speak to the select board, and that was his recommendation. There was not much discussion about zoning at all during that meeting, as opposed to when he met with us. But that was the decision coming out of the select board that night. And we've sent out to you the statute for the subdivision bylaws and the statute for zoning, just for comparison. And Norm also edited his list a little bit about the comments that Kevin made in that letter. How long ago was that? A year
That was
and
a year and a half ago. Yep. It was
Um,
September of 24, I believe.
Yeah,
Wow.
about which types of things are
not quite.
outdated. So, so this is for reference. The subdivision does have some teeth, you know, nowhere near as much as a zoning bylaw. But there are, as you can see in the subdivision bylaw statute, there are 4 things that shall be contained in that bylaw, A, B, and C, D there. And then there's some other things that may be included. There's 5 more things that may be included there. So perhaps the best first step is to take one of the more recent bylaws that have been written, and that would be most likely Kevin's Bristol one that he shared with us, and to you know,
Town that he lives in.
yes, and I think he's on the planning commission there, or the
Didn't know
town
that.
attorney. But yes, so if you look at that, it's nice because there's not a whole lot of overlap between zoning and subdivision. There's a pretty distinct delineation there.
Although, Barbara, I would say that in reviewing that, that's what Bill and Norman and I did. The number of references within the subdivision bylaws it's a subsection within, and it wasn't as easy to port over because the references in there are to the unified bylaws. And so there are gaps. When you're referencing the subdivision bylaws, it only talks about certain things and references within the subdivision bylaws things that are referenced only in the zoning bylaws. So that is going to make it somewhat difficult for us to just take that document and copy it, because it talks about certain aspects of planning that are sometimes in zoning and sometimes in the bylaws. We thought in a meeting with Kevin that we were going to be able to take those and kind of merge them and work on one independently. That was not the case in terms of what I saw, and I think Norman said the same thing. Bill, I don't remember what your perspective on that was, but there were enough references in the bylaws, in the subdivision bylaws, to the zoning portion of the unified, what was it called? Unified, drawing a blank on the name. They were unified regulations. The unified regulations, is that what, unified bylaws?
Unified bylaws is usually what it's called.
There were enough references.
Unified development regulations.
That's right, unified development. I knew there was another word. The unified development regulations, because he gave us that whole packet. So although the bylaws within that unified development regulations document is the shorter component, it leaves gaps in terms of being able to implement certain aspects of the subdivision regulations. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know if I followed that.
Okay, let me see if I can be any
I
clearer.
didn't bring it, so.
I think, I mean, there's a lot of instances where it talks about zoning administrator and development review board.
Yep, within the subdivision regulations. Yes,
Right.
that's true. And there are some references as well, Barbara. Let me see if I can find mine. Oh, I have that in a separate, that's over here.
May I be heard?
Yeah,
briefly?
oh, of course.
So, Mary Ashcroft again from the select board. What the select board would really like the planning commission to do is to obviously come up with a new subdivision ordinance, because the one we were using, as we saw tonight, has problems with it. we don't particularly care which towns you look at for a template. I mean, it sounds like Kevin brought in the Bristol one. We want one that's fairly recent and up to date. Kevin, I asked if he would provide to Barbara maybe 3 to 5 towns that had fairly recent. If it's a combined subdivision zoning ordinance, fine. There aren't many with standalone subdivision ordinances anymore. So you're going to
Bylaws.
run into this cross thing of, DRB and administrative officer being called a zoning administrator instead of administrative officer. We don't think that's insurmountable. Just fix it. But please don't. You're not going to find the perfect subdivision ordinance. It isn't probably out there. We want you to move on this, and please don't get hung up on, trying to find the perfect model, because it's probably not going to be. We still think by looking at a recently adopted, whatever it's called, which
Usually
includes a
unified.
subdivision component, you're still going to be way further ahead than the snarl you hit when you tried to update the existing subdivision ordinance. It's just better to go with a new model, a new template, and tweak it than to try and rewrite what you've got. I mean, I
We
think
already basically decided, Mary, that we can't rewrite what we have.
exactly, and that's what we heard as well. But please don't get hung up on, there's going to be difficulty whichever model you pick up. Just if you're always going to have to do some take out language that refers to
Right.
zoning.
Right.
You're always going to have to do that. So please don't get hung up on it. And after tonight's hearing and knowing the lawyers involved, outside our organizations, we're going to hit this wall sooner rather than later, because subdivisions are occurring again in town, and we have an ordinance that has flaws in it. And if we don't do something soon and have a new ordinance that goes through the process of adoption, we're going to be in a court case that with an ordinance that could be difficult to defend. So
Just
please
for the
move this
record,
along. Yeah.
we're coming up with a bylaw, and we're going to be
Yes.
following the subdivision bylaw statute.
Yes, because it has more oomph.
It has more oomph. It has, there's a more strict approval process. And then there
Yes.
was something about the penalties that Kevin mentioned.
The enforcement. I think the enforcement ability is broader if you have a bylaw. So yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. We're encouraging you to move along on this. We're getting a little nervous. I'm getting a little nervous, especially after, what we ran in tonight with some of the snarls in our existing ordinance. So,
And Kevin has also informed us that we need to work on our appeal process.
oh, you've got to put it in there. I mean, the statutory appeal process, it's in state statutes, so it should be reflected in the ordinance, and it must go in every letter of determination. So, yeah, you can't.
Even motions, he suggested.
Yeah, that would be fine. So go with him. He knows, he's researched it enough, but I just wanted to add the concern of the select board and hope that this is something, and I know we've asked you to do a lot, and we're really grateful. Thank you very much. But please let this move along as expeditiously as you can.
Mary, if I may.
Yeah.
Two things. First of all, the summary I prepared is to highlight, I suppose, those areas which we will be giving up control over.
Mhm.
And we will not have it in the future. And I thought both the planning commission and the select board should be well aware of the absence of future control over these specific issues. I'll be part of the ordinance.
Did you get a copy of that, Mary?
Norman just handed it to me.
That's the first thing. The second thing is Dana and I and Bill have been beating our head against the wall for quite some time. And I'm just wondering if it would make sense to have somebody make the investment and have somebody Kevin draft it for us. Because it's going to go around in circles. we meet once. If, you know, if Dana and I are appointed again, and maybe we shouldn't be. You know, it's a very protracted process to try and do this.
I know, I've done it in my past life. I've done zoning ordinances, I've done subdivision, I've done updates to town plans. I know it's a long process.
Can't be done quickly. If you
No.
1 or 2 or 3 months, I don't think so.
Well, I didn't put a timeline on it, but I did express that we're concerned about our existing ordinance not being as enforceable as we would wish.
So Mary, may I just ask
Yeah.
a question? Because I believe I'm not speaking out of turn if I said that we had a substantive discussion on June 19th about the status of our subdivision ordinance. And that there was unanimous assent that we believe that the appropriate pathway forward for making sure that the planning commission can do its work in terms of subdivision responsibilities is to include the subdivision regulations within a unified development set of regulations, which includes zoning.
I understand.
And if that's been communicated, then that's fine. But the work that
I
is being
don't
asked.
have the votes for anything relating to zoning. I don't know how else to say it. I don't have the votes on the select board. So what the select board was willing to do is say, please work on a subdivision ordinance.
Bylaw.
Thank you. I keep doing that, but the stronger, more robust bylaw.
Andy or Howard, do you? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. Yep, good. Yes, the message was sent and received. And this is the response.
Well, as I understand it, yeah, and historically, I know this to be the case, that you don't have the votes, but is the select board aware of the unanimous position of the planning commission that Dana set forth?
I believe Barbara conveyed that.
Did you?
Mhm.
So I'll go back to make the same statement that that I made when we were having our conversation, if I remember correctly, on June 19th. And that was that if the not if that everybody, I think, needed more education about the actual function and purpose of unified development regulations. And that if we were to move forward, the planning commission would need representation from the select board to write these subdivision bylaws. Because not having substantive input directly from the select board would make the task nearly impossible. So that would be my request from this group to the select board. Because otherwise, we're going to be here 1 year from now with no further progress on subdivision regulations based on the amount of time that 3 people in this room have spent over the last 15 to 18 months working on a variety of topics, not least of which was reviewing all of Kevin's recommendations. So that's what I think really needs to happen in order for subdivision bylaws to be crafted and be approved by whichever number of the select board members would be needed to approve them.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
The subdivision,
Subdivision
I'm
bylaws.
hearing two different things here. I'm hearing Dana speak to a unified ordinance which would contain zoning and subdivision.
It-
And my message from the select board is no, work on a subdivision ordinance, not a unified ordinance, because they don't want to tackle zoning.
And my point would be, it's not, my point is not making it the case for unified development bylaws. It's that the select board members need to know what is in a subdivision, a set of bylaws by itself, and what is required in order to effectively implement those. That's, and that would be my request, because we hear a lot of, we receive a lot of tasks from the select board, and we have not balked at any of those tasks. And I'm sure that Barbara would say we won't balk at this one. I'm just making the point that if the select board, if there isn't some select board representation other than you, Mary, present for joint work sessions on what our bylaws are, it is not going to be clear to them how they interact with the overall application of town planning, the land use map, and other things. And
Well,
I think that that's
Kevin did run through the components that would go into a subdivision ordinance.
I mean,
If you,
he took the bylaw, yes.
that's right.
I'm simply saying,
I can make the offer to them that they send, that they appoint someone to work with the planning commission on this.
Yep.
But you could very well get me.
I
Right.
don't think that that would be helpful.
I know. And that's because I'm already someone who understands zoning, someone who understands subdivision regs. And you're trying to, I heard the word educate the select board.
Well, educate anybody, everybody, like educate the town. I mean, because
Well, you have to do that anyway as part of the bylaw approval process,
Right.
because you have to have public hearings and walk through what you're proposing.
my point
yeah.
is that in order to do this effectively, in order for us as a joint organization, select board and planning commission, working in tandem, that in order for our education to reach the greatest number of people in the community, it can't be done in isolation. And one of the lessons that I've learned in terms of the amount of time that we've put in to participate over the last, whatever it was, 18 months, the missing piece was we didn't have anybody from the select board walking through the process. People can know and hear a presentation. We got a letter from Kevin Brown 18 months ago that said here, and this, and that. And we went through line by line and actually tried to
I
apply
know.
that.
I
And
knew
there's
this.
a
And I
difference.
thank you for your work. And I know it's been a very long process,
But-
but I know the conclusion was you need to look at somebody else's bylaw and pick up a newer version and run with that as a template. Now, I
We've tried that,
can't,
but-
I mean, let me go to the point. You think it's critical to have a select board member. It sounds to me like you want one of the people who might, I don't know who you're looking for. You
I'm
don't
not
want
looking
me
for anybody.
because I'm probably already committed to the process.
Well,
right?
no,
So
I think
I
that,
got that.
well, one, you're the chair. Two, you have a fairly good understanding of what
Yeah,
what
you
we're doing.
can't force education on any group of people.
No, and that's
And
not my
I
point.
would point out that the select board this is a very small part of what we do. We have so much stuff and we have committees that are out doing everything from, we just signed a contract for a major sewer project on the south end of town. And it's all, the board is already overworked. And to say the planning commission insists that before they go forward with a subdivision ordinance, one of you, not me, needs to be a delegate that will work with them on regular meetings to come up with it. I don't think that's going to be a welcome whatever.
Right, what I was gonna suggest, Dana and everyone else, is that I will work with Kevin. I'll take the template from Bill that you have one that you would prefer to use for a new bylaw, right?
No, I'm
No,
gonna say we.
no, we don't.
No, I just mean the the structure.
We have Bristol's.
Yeah.
we did not create anything from that.
But you probably wanted to match like our ordinances.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by the template. Yeah. The cover page, the table of contents, where it goes, where the definitions go.
We get that far, no. We had talked about that as a concept, but it never actually made it into reality.
Yeah. So I'm willing to work with Kevin, starting with Bristol and hopefully with some other towns that he finds.
He mentioned Wallingford too, so you might want to take a look at.
Wallingford. For unified, okay.
But the point he made too is these are all available. Most towns now have their bylaws available on their websites. So if you think of towns like us with some commercial, maybe a little industrial, smallish population, but with a lot more going on. And then you look and see towns maybe closer or in size and in demographics like that, and see if they have a fairly recent subdivision component, whether it's a standalone bylaw or whether it's part of a development review, then that will give you some guidance. I did ask Kevin because he had already taken a look up and down Route 7. He also mentioned Ferrisburg, which has similar things. So you find a recent bylaw, and then something that would fit what our demographics, not just population, but the, commercial, industrial component as well.
I think we're gonna need outside counsel. to
Yep.
work with. Almost, this is a huge undertaking.
Yes,
I've
it
been to
is.
Bristol and read that whole
Mhm.
80-some pages of subdivision regulations and, pardon me, zoning. And the complexity of Rutland town. And I think it's beyond really the expertise of the board. And maybe, I don't know if there's any groups that,
The Regional Planning Commission used to offer ordinance drafting services. I don't know whether you still do.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah. We do.
Devin and I talked about it a little bit.
okay,
He said, like, if we're interested, we can go talk to them, so.
okay. I
I
mean,
think it
that
might be to that
might
point.
be, because if you hire a lawyer, Norman, you know what the hourly rates are going to be. We would totally blow through any budget we had. But if the service is still offered by the Regional Planning Commission, that's what I would recommend you do. They're aware of all of the towns, all of the ordinances out there, bylaws, sorry.
Well, yeah, mostly in the region, but.
In the
yeah.
region, but frankly, if people feel that we're taking pieces from a couple of ordinances, bylaws here in Rutland County, I think people are going to be more accepting because it's what our neighbors are doing.
So Mary, we've already been down that road. Bill did the research. We reached out to Vermont League of Cities and Towns.
Mhm.
And the only set, Mount Holly, the only set that we received in terms of recent, 2011?
Oh, no, it was like 80, no, it was.
No, it was after ours.
Oh, yeah, it was like 87. I think it was.
Okay,
it
this
over.
was, as I understand it, a standalone ordinance. And that's where some of the issue is because not many towns
Have standalone.
have
ones.
standalone
Very few.
ordinances.
No,
Yeah,
No.
Bill said somebody said there were only 5 in the state.
it's
Seven,
possible.
I think, but I think it's 7,
Yeah.
and we're one of them.
That's,
Yeah.
So there might be only 5 others.
Yeah.
I think it was 7. Somebody said the number, I remember 7, and that they're, that have standalone subdivision ordinances. And we found that Mount Holly's was the newest in Rutland County.
Mhm.
And I guess my recollection is
Yeah.
off on that, but so the other, yeah.
yeah, and I think Devin would probably want a contract.
Yes, he
with the
probably will.
town. And
And we would want to know what the budget is. And then, but I still think tapping the resources of the regional commission rather than hiring counsel to do it makes
Yeah.
more sense on a lot of different levels.
Yeah, look-
Certainly, it's a sensible first step.
Yeah.
I just know the time we put in
Mhm.
so far and how much it was and how little progress we really made. And that's not being critical of Bill or Dana or even of myself. It's an uphill climb.
It's
I
not
understand.
fixing.
I've
It's
done
not,
it myself in other places. I understand.
and it's not fixing what's there in ordinance right now. It's ditching that
Mhm.
and starting from scratch.
We know that, Barbara. If anybody knows this, Bill, Norman, and I know this,
Yeah.
because we were saying this was before we asked Kevin to come and talk to us. We knew that you couldn't use, it was impossible to take what
Well-
was existing because there were so many
Yeah.
errors and there were so many references to things that were no longer applicable in terms of statute,
I
that
know.
made no sense. So we dismissed that and we mentioned that to the planning commission.
Right, but
almost a
even
year
if
ago.
there are just 5 that have done it recently, that's gonna make the job so much easier. Because
Well,
it's not gonna take as long as what you were doing.
no, I think that's true. Yeah.
Nothing would.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, I would be fine with recommending if you folks talk with the regional commission and get a contract from them to assist with drafting a new subdivision ordinance, then you're tapping the resources you need. And in the past, when we've done that, and I'm thinking way back to when I was on this planning commission, we came up with an ordinance and then we asked permission to hire an attorney to review what we had done. And maybe at that point you bring in Kevin or you bring in, someone from his firm who's used to doing it. But for the actual, give us a template and let's start working on the template. And I don't know how to address Dana's concern of send a select board member in to work with us. And it can't be me. I got that. And I'm not insulted by that. I understand your reasoning.
And I just don't think it's that necessary, Dana. I think the board was
Let it
totally
drop, let it drop.
Okay.
on
I-
board. with
I've
going.
said it, I've said it already in this context with the planning commission. I've said it now to Mary. I don't need to say it again. We can drop it and move on. I'm past that.
I'm also aware that this planning commission and different iterations of members, and not all, I mean, some of you folks have been through this, have come up with ordinances in the past. Twice with zoning ordinances, and the select board either didn't act or denied them. And this is different select board. But I don't know. It hurts me because I know how much work goes into it. And I obviously if I had been on those boards at the time, would have advocated for adoption, but I wasn't. And I don't feel from the comments around the table when we presented the idea of a combined ordinance, I don't think we have the votes to move forward with it. So I'm trying to avoid that kind of conflict and just move forward with the subdivision piece, because that is kind of what we need. But let's see if we can get the regional commission in to help.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mary, what concerns me is that there's going to be a push from Montpelier and maybe a push from within for very different kinds of housing in Rutland town than we have historically. And somehow in my mind, it begs for more regulation than we're going to be able to produce in a subdivision. And just so to some extent, and I know, from my long years of living in town, that there's always been, let's say, a super allergy to zoning ordinances. But I think the current and the potential in the next 5 or 10 years, significantly different development in town needs to be anticipated.
Okay.
I've seen some of the work and the Regional Planning Commission has done and some of the ideas they floated about different kinds of housing, and it's very different from what, you're absolutely right, it's very different from what we've seen in town. So yes,
Yeah, the person at the Regional Commission who does bylaws and housing is the same person, Logan.
oh,
And
Logan, okay.
yeah, and he's really he's really immersed himself in both topics and come a long way from a
Yeah.
couple of years ago when we first talked to him. So he might be able to help us with that, Norm. Just okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
Maybe
you.
not okay, but that's where we are. Tell us what we can help you with to get the Regional Commission to assist. And I think that's
And you
a
know, we can-
resource we should tap.
in the next year's budget, we can put in more for Kevin, you know, for legal advice
We
in
need,
anticipation that this will take some time, just review.
Mary, do we need specific authority from the select board to approach the regional planning commission?
No.
Or first, do we need a proposal from the
Well,
something concrete?
you go ahead and talk with the commission, but ultimately they're going to present a contract and the select board's going to have to authorize it.
Right.
So, yeah,
But we don't need authorization to go and talk.
no, you don't just go talk with them, see what they've got to offer.
And I'll be
Then we
glad to
make a
do that.
motion that we would like this contract to be entered into between the planning commission, our planning commission and the regional planning commission.
You
and
can, or you can send Barbara in with the recommendation
Right, and then you
and
approve it,
then
yeah.
and then make sure we have a copy of what you're looking for and how much it is. And
That's the normal process for any allocation of funds.
yeah, we were also given the briefing by our town clerk and treasurer on how to sharpen up our process for invoices. So yes, we do need to have something in writing.
I think I was present when Kerry mentioned that.
Was it last meeting? Because,
No,
okay,
this was a couple of meetings
all
ago.
right, all right,
Okay.
all right.
Some meeting I attended that was on.
Thank you all. I don't say that enough. We don't say that enough. But we do appreciate what you do. And we'll grumble and we'll complain, and you're welcome to do the same to us, but that doesn't lessen our appreciation for your good work. So thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
You're welcome.
Mary?
Okay. Any announcements? We do have a townwide celebration on the 23rd,
Twenty-third,
23rd of
Saturday,
August.
10 to 2.
Anyone available?
What time?
10 to 2. Those who are too shy to offer their help right now, just let me know and we'll fit you in. And we'll probably have a couple things that we'll be featuring there, the Pocket Park and hopefully the MS4 work on the Moonbrook watershed.
Right now, Barbara,
So
Fern and
slow.
I are both planning to be in attendance, so I can probably do something at some point.
Excellent.
And I don't think we're doing anything with Brock this year, right?
They didn't respond to my email to join.
So you,
Last year I carried the ball.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
dropped it, but I was away. I wasn't sure. Nobody ever said anything to me. Nobody asked, so that's why.
The option is still there. They would like it,
Mhm.
but
I've got it. on
That
my
just,
calendar.
I'm gonna say,
I'm gonna be-
I mean, as much as I think that Brock should be present, I know what my August is like, and I'm already doing two presentations up in Brandon. I think I'd like the day off from doing a coordinated project between Brock and the town.
we do You have a few different organizations coming, but yeah, I didn't hear back from them.
Next time, just CC me, would you, Bill? I mean,
One of the things we
at
wanted
least that way I
is
can follow up with them. Yeah, go
all
ahead.
of the organizations which receive special appropriations on the ballot every year, the standalone votes, we wanted to invite them and make sure the townspeople see what they are offering to the communities, because when town meeting comes up again, that'll be fresh in their minds, we hope.
Excellent idea. Good.
Is the Regional Planning Commission on that list?
They are on that list and I did not hear back from them either.
Okay.
All right, Bill. If you send, whoever you sent it to, did you send it to Vicky Loomis?
I'd have to go back and look.
Are they a separate appropriation or
Brock?
are they?
Oh, yeah,
Brock
3,000.
is separate, but the Regional Planning Commission's in our
Regional-
budget.
Yes. it's in the
Yeah.
budget, yeah.
Okay,
So if you,
Chamber gets the appropriation based upon population, but they
Right.
are coming.
okay, good.
so if you want to say, oh, I haven't heard from you and you want to CC me, at least I can go and ask
My
them
last email.
if they want, huh?
For my last email.
For my last email, yeah, and I can ask. I mean, it makes sense, but I can't. I'm stretched too thin to be thinking for everybody.
Okay, any other
other
announcements?
Organizations.
There a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay. We're adjourned. Thank you.
8:25.